Computer-generated chess problem 3096 by Chessatica. White has a queen, a rook, a knight and a pawn. Black, on the other hand, only has a bishop and a pair of pawns. But the knight on c1 is unpreased. That means the pawn can capture it, and with promotion and check, no less. So it seems like the thing to do here is rook captures pawn, right? Even if it means sacrificing it because bishop captures rook. Then here maybe knight to d3, h2 check, king to h1, maybe bishop to a1, queen to f5, and it's pretty clear that white will go on to win this, maybe in another 4 or 5 moves. But would it surprise you to learn that there's actually a forced mate in 4 in this position? Can you see it? No? Alright, let's take a look. Okay, interestingly, before we look at the forced mate in 4, knight to e2 check is also a possibility here, because then king to g4, queen to g8 check, king to f3, rook to f2 check, king to e4, queen to d5 check, king to e3, rook to f3 check, sacrificing the knight, queen to d3 check, king to e1, rook to e3 mate on the 7th move. Okay, so that's an interesting variation as well, but it's 7 moves, so it's not the solution. The solution is actually rook captures pawn check. Okay, now here, if the black king does not recapture the rook, let's say he plays king to f4, well then knight to e2 check, and after king to g4 the only move, queen to h5 mates. So that doesn't work. What about king to g4? Well then queen to h5 check, king to f4, knight to e2 check, king to e4, and queen to d5 mates. Okay, so let's take a look at the obvious response, which is king captures rook. Okay, so white has just exchanged a rook for a pawn. He continues with queen to h5 check. And now here, if king to g3, knight to e2 mates immediately. Notice how the knight guards the f4 flight square. And if bishop to h4 intervening, interesting. Queen to f5 check, the bishop blocks the h4 flight square. The king is forced to g3 and knight to e2 mates anyway. And even in this checkmate, the bishop on h4 blocks what would have been a possible flight square for the king. Let's rewind. Do you think you would have seen the key move in this position? Would you have played rook captures pawn to win in the quickest way possible? Or would you have tried something else? I guess you know the answer to that one.